Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
The open border is one of the largest forces driving up costs of basic necessities. Each illegal immigrant costs taxpayers nearly $9,000 per year, according to the Federation for American Immigration Reform. Total cost since 2021, $72.8 billion. Fentanyl continues to pour in, bringing more countless, senseless deaths every year. We cannot afford to let this dangerous agenda continue. This election, reject reckless spending and demand real border security. Advocate for America paid for and is responsible for the content of this ad.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
We were just talking about one of the great movies in the history of moviedom outside there, 1997, Jackie Brown, which followed up Pulp Fiction, basically, right? Jackie Brown was the next Tarantino movie after Pulp Fiction. But I was clicking the other night and ran across the scene, first of all, when Odell Bracey is sitting next to the De Niro character and the gun tape was running. And the AK-47, except no substitute scene. But a little later, he comes home and Bridget Fonda, Melanie, his girl Melanie, the blonde, is laying on the couch smoking a big bowl of dope, you know? And he says something about, Melanie, if you sit around all day and smoke dope and lay on the couch and watch TV, you're going to lose your ambition. And she says, unless your ambition is to lay on the couch, smoke dope, and watch TV. That movie is so well written, man.
Because Elmore Leonard could write.
Oh, yeah. So I'm sure they redid a lot of it.
When you absolutely positively have to kill everybody
in the room. Every single you-know-what in the room.
Yeah.
Except no.
And the De Niro character is basically so stoned the whole time he's speechless. You know, he just nods his head.
I was fully prepared to have a tirade.
Yes.
About Irvin Santana.
Yeah.
Why'd you wait till a week before you're supposed to report to have surgery, only to discover, reading into it, that he didn't think anything was wrong with him until he started throwing the ball.
Yeah, they thought he had complained apparently late in the season that it was bothering him, but they didn't. They thought it would heal, but it didn't. So.
He's having a capsular release debridement procedure.
Debridement becomes a very big thing because we've had a few debridements lately. I think it was Phil Hughes had a debridement. Mm-hmm. We've had a few, I think.
Worst thing that ever happened to these guys is new medical terms were invented.
Yes.
That's a W term.
Instead he's got a
Do you hear that, sir? He's having a capsular release debridement procedure.
Yeah, I thought that was like your meniscus. I'm having trouble with meniscus. 'Cause it sounds like a measurement.
I thought maybe he was trying to get out of his marriage.
I'll be right back in a meniscus.
Yeah.
I thought he was trying to get out of his marriage. Debridement.
Yeah, how do you debridement? See, I can't do that with Laura.
That's what Bach would have said. Debridement.
Debridement.
Does that mean
What did? I'll use it in a sentence. She clumsily said what she said, and I didn't know what debride meant. When she told me that the keys were out downstairs.
You didn't know what debride meant.
The newlywed groom looked at her because he did not know what debride meant. It's like the state high school girls basketball tourney show. What did debride meant? I don't know, something about a machine gun, I think. It was a machine gun.
AK-47, the very best there is.
Watch it.
When you absolutely, positively got to kill every in the room, except no substitutes.
He might have had more fun in that role
Oh, my
than
God.
any movie he ever had. Who was the guy he shot
Except no
right off
substitutes.
off the beginning? The guy that was just playing the caricature of a doped up criminal black guy, little guy that he ended up shooting in the trunk.
I have no idea.
The guy said, "I didn't climb it in that trunk." No, he says, "Here, just get in that trunk. We'll sneak him." Opens up the door, opens up the trunk, shoots him twice, takes him. Oh man, that was a great movie.
Wild scored on 45 seconds into the game, and they showed
The Blues,
resiliency.
The Blues scored 45.
What I said,
seconds.
they were scored upon. 45 seconds into the game, and they showed resiliency.
Hey, they're just fine.
They're hard to figure out, Pat.
They're pretty good, though. They're going to be fine. They're going to make the playoffs, no problem. They probably will be on the road. In fact, it's almost essential to be on the road, but that's okay. It's hockey.
And the
You don't need to
Timberwolves
be at
have
home.
the struggling Cavaliers.
Cavs, and I can tell you, Manny and I were talking about it. You'll see the best the Cavs. You'll either see the best the Cavs had tonight or the worst, one of the two. They'll either come out and lay down or this is it for them. I mean, they have to show something now that they care after that thing last night. We were all upset 2 weeks ago when the Timberwolves lost to these mutts from Orlando down there. And now the Cavs are leading them by 21 points in the first half and end up getting beat bad.
At home or down there?
Down there in Orlando. But Orlando's wants to lose. They don't even want to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
And they get clobbered by them. So I would think the Timberwolves are going to face a team with a lot of resolve tonight.
Well, is it all up to how LeBron feels about it?
Well, I think he's doing his best, but they all of a sudden they traded Irving to the Celtics, and they got Isaiah Thomas back, who was a great little player in Boston, but he's 5'9", and apparently it doesn't work with he hasn't figured out how to play with the Cavs, and they haven't figured out how to play with him, and they don't have a lot of size. And now Love is out for 2 months. They have come unglued.
What
completely.
happened to Love?
What did he break?
Did Bridman?
Broke a
No,
hand.
he broke
didn't
something in his hand because
his
we thought
meniscus.
it might have been knuckle push-ups again,
No,
but that
it
was
wasn't
not the
knuckle
case.
push-ups.
No.
It wasn't knuckle push-ups. No.
Well, whatever. That's the only thing going tonight. The Gophers lost again.
Yeah, they gave a stout effort. They lost. Coffey didn't play again, and then Dupree McBrayer, who's been limping around for weeks here trying to play, he had to leave the game early in the second half.
That was their last chance to win a Big Ten game was last night.
Don't they have an easy road game here pretty soon?
Oh, you mean like when they go to Northwestern and lose? Or
I thought they had Illinois left.
I think they're already done with Illinois.
They got 5.
I'll look
they
at their
go to
schedule.
Wisconsin. Wisconsin's terrible.
So are they.
They're at Indiana Friday.
Indiana's not good, but they'll beat the Gophers.
They're home to Michigan State Tuesday.
Yeah, they won't win that one.
No? Okay.
Michigan State's what, third in the country?
Although
Wild-
they're struggling.
The Wild begin a 5-game homestand tomorrow.
By the time this homestand's over, they'll be near the top of the conference, I predict, of
Well,
the division.
That would suggest to me to be
They've been
really,
great at
really
home.
cautious.
They've been great at home.
They have been. Plus, they got Arizona Thursday.
I can't lose to them.
Nope.
After the Wisconsin game, by the way, the Gophers host Iowa,
Yeah, I was mediocre.
But
Although they can't guard them.
and then they go to Purdue. So they got that going
They
for
won't
them.
win at Purdue. I make that prediction. Right?
They are not going to win another game. They are not going to win. That last night was their shot.
So they're done as a tournament selection.
Yes, which means when you and your father decide to go to New York, you get the bonus of a Wednesday game. this
See?
year.
Add a day, Dad. We get to go a day early.
Yeah, you get to go on Wednesday.
That is the most depressing atmosphere, is the first
13
day
and
of
14 versus
Oh,
11 and
God.
13 versus 12.
This is the NIT.
the
this
Big
is
Ten tournament.
Big Ten tournament.
They don't have the guts to just say number 13 and 14
Stay home.
Stay home. We hate you. And then have then they could get it done in one less day, but they have to have everybody show up so everybody can join in the celebration of playing in front of 2,100 people on the consolation day, basically.
And Joe, you know it's a really great festive atmosphere when you can hear the coach for either team barking instructions to players on the bench.
I don't like that.
I've always said the key is when you can hear the squeak of the sneakers and the dribbles. You know, that's when you know you got an empty gym. You're watching on TV and you can hear the sneakers squeaking and the dribbling taking place, and the guys shouting out offensive sets and the like. Yeah,
You can't hear anything over this Sasquatch who coaches the Timberwolves. He's out there growling and yelling and stomping around.
it is an amazing voice because I was watching them the other night. The arena, they were someplace. The arena was full, and you could
Yeah, you could hear him grunting.
You could still hear him. It's unbelievable.
Just a moment, please.
Ricey, what's the name of the bail bondsman in that movie? Robert
Forster, but
what's the character he plays?
Max Cherry.
Max
Cherry.
How dumb do you have to be to say no to Pam Grier? Oh my God, I'm still yelling at Elmore Leonard and Quentin Tarantino and the screenwriters. Just send them off into the sunset with her.
Wanted to have her. He just wanted to have her life.
I would follow her to the end of the world.
What are you going to show me?
I was going to show you my new baseball writer's card. Look at that number up in the right-hand corner.
9.
9.
Man, are you old.
9.
What does the 9 mean?
That means I'm 9th on the seniority list
Oh,
among
boy, you're old.
probably 800 guys.
He tweeted out earlier, Rook,
how to miss it.
my condolences to number 4 and number 6 and their families.
Last year I was 11.
Yeah.
I used to be like number 300.
Oh, yeah. I'm 9.
Yeah.
I was 10, and then I backed up one because they let some new guys in, but I took a 2-man jump this
Now,
year.
you haven't killed anybody off. This is
No.
legitimate.
No, in fact, I changed my Twitter account to Pat Old Number 9 Ricey. So,
Are you excited for the start of the Olympics?
when does it start?
Tomorrow.
No, I guess not.
They're complaining.
How come I kind of knew that was going to be his
They're
answer?
complaining because they have cold weather. It's the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, who's complaining?
Well, the Washington Post did a big 5-page spread on
What
it.
do
It's
they
so
mean?
cold here.
What do they
Yeah.
mean by cold?
Oh, it's not even 10 below.
Babies.
Yeah.
Well, the worst Winter Olympics I ever covered of the 3 was Calgary because it was too damn warm. We had a Chinook and it was 60.
Right.
They were trying to ski over rocks.
Yep.
So no,
Well,
I don't. I as I've told you, when you're covering them, you think the world is fixated. When you're not there, you don't give a damn.
Right.
I enjoyed the hockey a couple of times. 0-2 in Salt Lake City when they put the NHLers out there for the first time. It was pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody
Now this
got
year,
bored with
no
that.
NHLers.
Oh no, we got a slapstick team just slapped together. That's nobody knows who's good. I don't know if the Russians sent a real team or not. They were thinking about because they are what the athletes from the country of Russia.
Yes.
And they don't get the anthem and they don't.
And right now over there, it's 13 hours ahead of right here.
Oh, more than that.
I thought it was
think.
15.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow. There.
Here's the easiest thing to do.
All right. So I need
You
a tip
subtract 7.
from the current time.
From the current time, so it is 8:20 a.m. on Friday.
No, on Thursday.
Track 7.
Today's
today.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday, 8:20 a.m. on Thursday.
Okay.
Where's the 7 come from?
3:20 tomorrow. Subtract 7. They're a day ahead of us. -7.
Oh,
No.
Yes, they're a day ahead of us.
Because it would be more, right? It would be more.
-9.
-9.
Excuse me. That's
Yeah.
right. I was thinking 17 hours.
So what time was it yesterday at 10 a.m.? Was it today at 3:20?
Yeah, it was 3 a.m. Yes, no, it was 1 a.m. today.
You better get on board with these Olympics if you're going to start giving out all these spoilers.
Well, I got
That's
to
your
find out.
your bit.
I got to get somebody to send me what they're showing in prime time that
primetime
night.
preview.
That
Right.
night.
Right.
So
you
then
can
I
give it all
know
away.
those are the events they're trying to keep the public from finding out about.
Well,
'Cause there's no sense in doing primetime preview unless you're spoiling
You've got
somebody's.
two producers. One of
Yes.
those lackeys can do it for you.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't it be easier instead of subtracting 9 and then going back to the previous day? Wouldn't it just make sense to do 12, which would give you the other time, and then 3?
I got a better idea.
Well, you can do whatever.
A
you
better
want to.
idea.
You could look it up on your cell phone.
Put that town in your cell phone, and boom, you got the time.
There
Well,
it
you
is.
can do that too.
Right
But
there. Give
how
up.
do you spell Plung Chung?
You can look
or
it up in
whatever
the
hell
paper.
his name is?
P-O.
Yeah, something like that.
They got it. You can get it. It's
Chipper,
in
I saw his photo on Twitter. He's got 2 different watches on. He's got the
Yeah,
Pyeongchang
but how do you
time.
know what day it is?
Wait, is he over there?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
covered it.
yeah.
Oh,
Chip's covered it.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really, Kenny.
For
I
us,
covered 3 of them. The best one by far was Norway.
we're going to milk that
I love
connection, aren't we?
Norway.
Of course.
Yeah, we better be.
I love Norway because we had Tanya and Nancy and we had
Galooly.
Wait a minute. I was
Street.
watching a 30 for 30 the other day, speaking of Tanya.
No, as I told you, that was some other fat, balding guy counting his chins by hand.
Looking very unimpressed.
Can I tell you a true story? I was over here producing something about a week or so ago, and a gal from the sales department walks over, and she's like, "Hey, Reavers." I'm like, "What's up?" And she said, "Is that Ricey on the?" I said, "As a matter of fact, you know what? Why don't you go by and ask him?" She said she was watching it with her fiance, and they said, "Hey, that looks like Ricey." I said, "You should go ask him about
What
that."
country was this?
That was
Norway.
Lillehammer.
Yeah,
that
Norway.
was Lillehammer.
Is that when she got hit with the pipe?
No, she got hit with the pipe at the U.S. skating trials in Detroit.
That's right.
And then they were there together. And the first time they were on the ice together practicing,
Yeah.
because they would practice by country. 2 countries would practice together in shifts on the practice rink. And Nancy and Tanya stayed as far away from each other as they could. As
Literally
they
hugging the boards.
Circled around that way. Yeah, yeah. They
Tanya
look like
try to
one
throw
of
her
the.
into the seats.
They look like one
Pick
of
her up and just
the.
throw her in the seats.
Body slammer.
Yeah.
They look like one of the Sutter brothers. They were in the corner so much they look like one of the Sutter brothers.
You know, you do have that look like, I am skeptical.
Not buying it.
I wonder how this is going to play.
The highlight was when her shoelaces broke and she came over and started weeping, and they let her start all over again because they didn't know what else to do
There's
with
a
her.
lot of crying in figure
They
skating.
thought they were going to have to hospitalize
It's
her.
required.
Gotta
Mandatory.
weep. Gotta weep.
Guys, too.
Yeah,
Guys,
they
too.
weep.
Yeah.
And the flowers start wilting, and it's just a mess.
I always
Happy
said
tears, sad
You know, in
tears.
Calgary, I discovered this is a little politically incorrect,
Oh, boy.
but, Dick Button was our guy
That's
on
right.
figure skating.
That's it.
And all the guys in the U.S. who were covering the Olympics, like me, who knew nothing about figure skating, would listen to Dick.
Uh-huh.
I'd listen to the gay guy from Canada who did it, Toller Cranston. So I had exclusive
Oh, see?
plagiarism. They were all listening to our gay guy. I listened to their gay guy who knew what they were talking about. And Toller was great. I loved him.
Sports Talk will return shortly, but
You guys know it's International Clash Day, right?
I did know that.
I
Thank you.
did hear that.
London's calling, by the way.
They had 2 good songs.
Phony Beatlemania has bitten the dust.
It is this day in history. The Beatles arrived in New York.
That's right.
To be on the Ed Sullivan Show?
They made their first appearance, and they arrived on our shores for the first time on this day in 1964.
Feb 7.
There it is.
1960.
Bitten the dust.
I'm not taking your Beatles. And so.
Here's John
When were
Height.
they on the roof?
That was the Beatles, man.
They were just
No, when?
69. That was the last thing they
Tripping
did,
and
basically.
dumb.
Gotcha.
and
I
you know
got a
where they were.
feeling
That is
No,
a good
that's
version.
a different one. I got a feeling tonight's gonna be.
No, that's a different one.
Oh my God.
John Hyde in the newsroom.
Kenny, as long as we're on music, did you
We're
watch?
already derailed.
Did you watch Jimmy Fallon after the Super Bowl, the Bob Dylan
I
performance?
do not watch Fallon under any circumstances.
All right.
Thank you, Kenny. I said the same.
Yeah. I like Stapleton, but I'm not watching Fallon to see him.
All right.
Well, I'm not waiting up till 12:30.
I gotta get to bed.
Plus, truth be told, I passed out drunk about 6:30.
Now I believe you.
Woke up 1 a.m. Now what?
Who won the Super Bowl?
John Hyde.
My favorite Kenny tweet Sunday was something
Well,
about
I keep
drinking
trying.
coffee, and he said, "But I'm not too sure because I have Bailey's in my coffee." So
Listen, I don't think that was me.
Yeah,
I think
that
this
was you.
message brought to you
That was
by
you.
Bailey's and Coffee is what I said.
that could be. I was close enough, Sunny and 15 degrees. This update brought to you by MetaFast. Twins GM Thad Levine a guest with Mackey and Judd today here on 1500 ESPN. Levine said Miguel Sano appears to be recovering well from his leg surgery. He said this will be a big year for Sano.
It's easy to look up and say that this guy could be a DH or a first baseman in a year or two and be a presence in the middle of the order, but really more of a power presence. I think the sky's the limit in terms of how he can contribute on the ball field, and we're going to do everything we can to put resources around him to give him every chance to be as complete a player, both while he's in the batter's box, but also when he's doing things outside of that, running the bases, playing third base, because I think that's the difference between him being an extremely good player and an elite player in the game.
That's all fine and well, but what about the sexual harassment charge?
I still haven't heard from the league.
Levine said in the same interview they're still waiting for Major League Baseball as they continue their investigation into the allegations. And he said, of course, they'll abide by whatever Major League Baseball
I'm going to have him on at 5:03 today.
You are.
We'll talk
Sano
to him.
or Levine?
No, Levine, not Sano. No, Sano's hiding. He won't talk to anybody. But I'll ask him if they've considered gastric bypass with Sano. So.
Wolves in action tonight
I'd
playing
have to put another steel rod in there.
playing the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road. News notes from today: a respected and trusted former assistant principal at Bemidji Middle School admitted he took advantage of children that he supervised. Federal Judge Wilhelmina Wright sentenced Brandon Bjerknes to 25 years in prison. She spoke directly to him during sentencing, saying, "You are a predator. You used your position of power to exploit children. You preyed and victimized 55 children for your deviant sexual desires." Right? 55, that's correct, yes. Wright also told him that his crimes caused such harm to the kids that it could take them years to heal. The 35-year-old Bjerknes pleaded guilty to using fake Facebook and Snapchat accounts to pose as a teenage boy named Brett Larson. He used that profile to have sexual conversations and exchange pornographic videos with girls 12 to 14 years old. Prosecutors said the girls believed at the time he was their boyfriend.
That doesn't say much about a professional athlete like Sano. When you're so heavy, you got to prop him up with rebar.
One way to look at it, I guess.
I'm still thinking, I didn't want to hear that horrible story, so I was thinking about Sano.
City of St. Paul wants to bring more people.
Prop what up? His bosoms? I
Well,
wasn't listening
his
at all.
leg had to be reinforced with a steel beam because he was going to fall down from his weight.
He fractured a little. So he did a little something went in there. Stress fracture, right?
I think it was debridement.
Yeah, he needs a debride.
What debride meant. Debride meant on
He's
your
got a
meniscus.
bride. He's got a bride. He's a
Yes.
married man.
He wants to know what debride meant when she said your meniscus is ripped.
City of St. Paul wants to bring more people to its riverfront shores. That's why it held a public neighborhood meeting last night on a $600,000 renovation plan for Lower Landing Park, the 21-acre park.
Where's that?
It's right there. You
Lower
can find
Town.
it. It's right there on the river.
Lower Town, yep.
Right there.
So if we
Where
build
the
a park,
ferry boats land.
Oh, well, behind the post office.
You know what?
Behind the old
You know
post
what?
office.
Nobody's going to go to St. Paul. You want to make St. Paul a place to go? Make weed legal. Boom. You got a city full right there.
then we could sell the Girl Scout cookies, Pat.
Right, nothing else. People don't want to go to St. Paul.
Yeah, they do.
I
Kenny.
told my granddaughter about that.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, "Dad, can we fly to California? I could sell a lot of cookies."
You got to go to Denver.
The city wants to add a
Free
public
riverfront weed. Boom.
city wants to add a public art gallery, an improved picnic area, space for food trucks, basketball courts, and a dog park. Bianca
There's
Paz.
no room down
That's
there.
not going to help.
It's not going to do anything.
It's not gonna. It's a waste of your money.
Yeah.
All you're doing is spending Such's money.
Spend.
I got to get a food truck in.
Yeah.
Bianca Paz, a landscape designer with St. Paul's Parks and Rec Department, said this is our long-term vision. It's based on community input. The St. Paul City Council may vote on the plan in a few months. The first phase of construction could begin this fall.
Got to be the only city in the country that gave its most prime piece of real estate to a jail.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
You're right.
That was not a good decision.
What an excellent point right there.
Yes.
Dum-dums.
Say, today, Kenny,
Yes, sir.
I made a purchase at Bobby and Steve's. You know, I got my Diet Cokes. I got my car washed, and then I made a purchase, and I had 4 Diet Cokes. And I said, could I have a bag, please? 11 cents.
For plastic,
Wow.
Yeah. For you can't get plastic.
Where were you when you called me about the location of a car wash? Where were you?
I was home.
Well, you were home.
Yes.
Oh.
But I was downtown. I was downtown, and I was trying to figure out where to go because they got rid of that one we had down there. We're below Target Field.
He's pointing. He's pointing and shaking his finger.
Pointing
down
to the
there.
ground.
down there.
Say, where?
Here's
below the
Target
table.
Field. It was down there.
Yeah.
I hate.
Oh, you're talking about the gas station where you snubbed the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They turned it in. They only have They used to have one with people. Now they only have a machine.
I don't have any time to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. He said, I don't have any money.
No, I don't have any money.
I just want to say cool car. Didn't you?
All I wanted to tell you was it was a nice looking car, and I said,
You look over and he's driving an Escalade.
My bad.
And I do
I'm
hate.
not TSA. I'd be a racial profiler.
Oh, my God.
I do hate to ask, but I feel I do need to ask. How did you make out in the car wash? Was everything okay, or
Did you get stuck?
We had a guy there who was guiding me.
Oh, perfect.
Because he heard. Because he heard.
Hey, that guy's here who gets stuck.
Here comes Royce.
Here comes Mr. Backup Man.
When Pat comes, it's like the airport where they got the guy with the orange cones. Yeah, he's
Bolstered by the strong economy and quickly shifting numbers on tax reform, President Trump's approval rating hit 40%. Wow. The new Quinnipiac poll today, his best score in the survey in 7 months. A slim majority of voters, 51%, say they approve of how Trump is handling the economy. That's his highest mark on the question since the inauguration. This marks at least the 5th recent national survey to show Trump's approval rating climbing over the past 2 months.
Wait till he gives us that military parade, it'll soar.
I was
Just
wondering
like
about that.
He'll be up there. Look like Leonid Brezhnev watching the
Don't
missiles
they
come
do that
by.
in Russia and North Korea and China?
Right.
That's great.
We need one of those.
Yeah, great idea.
What a beauty.
A fraternity,
Watch his own big missiles walking by him.
a fraternity.
get that march down too, where you're really killing your ankles.
Right.
Is he going to have one of those 6-story blanket images of himself going up the street?
Yes, right.
A fraternity at Cornell University has been placed on probation for conducting a sex contest that members dubbed the pig roast in reference to the weight of the women they slept with.
Big girls.
The university said officials launched an investigation of the Zeta Beta Tau chapter last year after multiple reports about the secret game in which new members could get points by having sex with women.
What a bunch of amateurs.
The fraternity said in a statement the allegations were contrary to its values and mission. Zeta Beta Tau said the events were not chapter-sanctioned activities, nor ones that brothers were aware of.
How did they think they were going to get away with this?
That's one where you really can't blame the school for getting bigger.
No, not at all. The school said the frat would be required to hire a live-in advisor during their 2-year probation, be subjected to external reviews.
You know what they're on? Double secret probation.
You know, that's almost as bad as playing Pregnant or Not at the Minnesota State Fair. That
Which we've never done.
We've never done. We threatened but decided not
You mean
to.
on the air, right?
On the air. On the air. We've never played it.
The off-air version's pretty fun, too.
More colorful.
Just a moment, please, John. I imagine you have more.
I do. Sure.
All right.
A bunch of creeps.
It is Clash Day, isn't it?
Let's march, John.
How many of these guys are still with us?
Well, Strummer's dead. Well, they're all still alive except Strummer, aren't they?
I think only Joe is dead.
Yeah, I think he's the only one. And he was kind of important in the band.
Who's the guy with the bad teeth?
Jones, right? Nick Jones? Nick Jones. A Scottish farmer frantically called police to report a tiger in his cowshed, sparking an armed police standoff.
That's not a euphemism?
No. Only for police to discover it was just a big stuffed tiger.
And wonder who put it in there,
Who put
John?
it in there?
24-year-old Bruce Grubb was throwing...
He's got a neighbor called Mr. Unbelievable.
24-year-old Bruce Grubb was throwing a housewarming party when he spotted the bizarre sight, quickly called police, fearing that all of his cows, some of them pregnant, were about to be devoured.
Okay.
A lot of tigers in Scotland?
Good point, Such. Good point. What version of LSD do they still have in Scotland? That's what I want.
He told the Scottish Sun, I now feel a little bit silly for calling the police, but I thought it was a real emergency. I had absolutely no doubt I got a hell of a scare. The frightened farmer said the first officer to respond to the scene was so scared that he refused to get out of his squad car.
How stupid are these people? There's no tiger in Scotland.
The Northeast Police checked with a local wildlife park to see if they had an escaped tiger on the loose, discovered they didn't. After armed cops engaged in a 45-minute standoff, they realized...
I think we have one of the authorities right here to comment. Go ahead, sir.
That's quite a fierce tiger.
So they had a 45-minute standoff.
That's
what
correct.
Were they on the bullhorn telling the tiger to come out?
He ain't moving.
He ain't moving.
I'll take Let It Snow for 400.
He's ready to pounce. That's why.
I think it was about the size of a teddy bear, too.
Yeah, it wasn't big, the pictures. It's unclear how the stuffed toy
A rather
got...
large cat.
How the
I'll
stuff...
take Horad's.
That's who reads.
Unclear how the stuffed toy got in the shed. Cops said the call had genuine good intent. So
I just want to solve the puzzle.
I'll take Horage for 400.
Who reads?
Yes. Your mom.
Another tiger story, this one from Mexico. They find tigers.
We're getting closer.
They find tigers there on occasion in neighbors' yards, wandering the streets. But this one,
We have tigers in Mexico.
How?
I don't know.
You can get them.
You get 'em.
I
You
didn't
can
know.
get 'em.
Yeah, it's warm.
Huh.
In this case,
That's the only stipulation.
Wait a minute. Wasn't Mexico the place where the guys that owned the junkyard? People kept stealing their stuff, so they shaved the dog to look like a lion. Wasn't that in Mexico?
Yeah.
It's one of them German Shepherd
They
lions.
gave him a mane. Beware lion.
Oh, that is a crossbreed.
in Mexico, somebody tried to express mail a tiger cub. The cub was
Tried to
sedated.
what?
Express mail.
Mail it.
Mail a cub. Huh?
Put it in a box.
The cub was sedated, packed into a plastic container. Nobody realized it was there until a sniffer dog looking for contraband
There's a kitty in a box joke in there somewhere.
detected it. Please don't, Kenny.
Okay.
I like working with you. The cub was mailed in the western state of Jalisco to an address in the central state of Querétaro. It was dehydrated, but otherwise it was well. It was handed over to an animal management center. Police say they're investigating where this all started.
You got to make the drive, don't you? If you're transporting a tiger, you got to make the drive,
Yeah.
don't you? You just can't put it in the mail.
A Massachusetts couple says it was fun at first when they started getting free mystery packages from Amazon that they hadn't ordered, but now they say it's annoying and they want it to stop.
Too much weed.
No, Mike and Kelly Gallivan of Acton told the Boston Globe the first package arrived in October. They've continued to arrive at a rate of 2 to 3 a week. They contain mostly cheap stuff like plastic fans and phone chargers. Why does this happen?
Yeah, why, John?
Well, 2 experts say the Gallavans are likely unwittingly being used in a ruse to manipulate Amazon buyer reviews. Somebody sends them this junk, basically, and then they write glowing reviews of their own product, so people will order them.
In the name of the people they
That's
sent
correct.
them to. Wow.
Nothing better than a good old ruse.
Kids, here's why you should stay away from drugs. A Pennsylvania man facing charges after police say the 19-year-old attacked his family while tripping on LSD and then resisting arrest while naked and covered in cooking oil.
Oh.
Tribune Review says a number of more serious charges include assault and threats were dropped after the victims refused to pursue charges. Lonnie Beatty had taken the hallucinogen and lost control. Police say he destroyed a North Apollo house and victims hid in the bathroom while he was doing that. The family dog even bit him, trying to protect the people. When police got there, he was naked, wearing one sock only, and covered in cooking oil.
Huh.
John?
Yes.
Speaking of receiving stuff you didn't order?
Yes.
Way back in the 80s, when I was still in St. Paul, there was some guy out there who didn't like me.
Uh-huh.
He subscribed me to various magazines.
Oh, no.
All of which were of questionable taste.
They all went to the paper.
I kept getting them at the paper. There was these with my subscriber name on them, and
I used to get those
most
for free.
of them involving men who like men, stuff like that.
Sure.
I used to get those for free up in Maplewood.
So wait a minute, Randy Moss was right.
Whatever happened to my prescriptions, Rook, of all those magazines I used to get up in Maplewood?
You had a
I think the
prescription
LFI. I didn't know what the LFI was
Doctor prescribed.
until I opened the LFI in your absence. Going, this is Kenny. Like, oh, Larry Flint International. Yeah. I never knew what it was, but they
Gotta
were
see who the bleep of the month
they
is.
started putting it in my box, and I was like, what is LFI?
You like that? Were you like that?
I
Or
was something similar to that.
Similar.
It's been a while, and it's not too long. The clock is still running.
The image. Let's take a look at the board.
Oh, here it is.
And the categories are potent potables, letters that begin with G, who reads, which is a category about books. I'm sure we won't tackle that one. Let it snow. State your name. In that category, all you need to do is state your name. Famous operas and potpourri. Sean, you control the board.
I'll take Horage for 200.
It is who reads. It's about books. It's not whore ads. That's it, Connery. You're on a timeout. For our other contestant.
Oh my gosh!
The best part of that scene, though, we played it the other day, is when Burt Reynolds drives the podium up as Turd Ferguson.
Or Tony Bennett talking into the buzzer. It's really great to be here tonight. Like, no, it's not a microphone.
Oh, God,
just
funny.
a moment. As soon as I find this. Okay.
Goodbye.
What do you got coming up?
Action-packed. Kevin Seifert, another look back and look ahead, NFL at about 4:15. And Thad Levine, who was on with Judd and Phil today, we're going to talk to him about the post-Urban Santana injury situation as the Twins prepare 1 week from what? What's today? 7.
Today's Feb 7.
1 week from today, it starts.
Well, he was going to be their opening day
Spring
pitcher.
training. Yes, he certainly was.
Now they need one.
I know.
Reavers wants you, Darvish.
Well, I'd take him, but I'll take Lance Lynn. I'll take Alec Cobb. I'll take. There's 3-4 guys out there I'd take, and Jess Myers with a hockey half hour at 5:30. We'll review that Wild's wonderful effort last night in St. Louis.
And the Olympics starting tomorrow, and you still have to figure out how to do your primetime
see if I can spoil
corruption.
things.
1500 ESPN is KSTP St. Paul, Minneapolis. It's 15 degrees. The ride with Royce is coming up straight away.